Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Hello, happy Saturday. It's Danny Spees here with my daughter, Katie Spees, from Clean and Delicious. And today, we're going to show you a Mother's Day recipe that we're thinking of making for Mother's Day. You could add this to a brunch recipe, or you could just keep it real simple. Serve it with a little fruit salad and some coffee, and you guys are ready to go. So, Katie, do you remember the name of the recipe we're making today?
They are
Paleo
blueberry lemon muffins.
Paleo blueberry lemon muffins. So guys, as always, as you tune in, say hello, let me know who's watching and where you're watching from, and we're gonna jump right into this very simple recipe. Now, it is a paleo recipe, so we're not using any whole wheat flour. The kind of flour we're gonna be using today is coconut flour. And coconut flour is very light, it's high in fiber, and it's very absorbent. So when you work with coconut flour, you'll notice that you use a little bit of flour with a lot of liquid. So in this case, Katie, what are we using today? A lot of eggs, right? Because that's gonna help to bind the muffins. So Katie is gonna start cracking some eggs for us, and we're gonna be using 6 whole eggs. Okay, so crack them in there, and then let me get you a bowl to put the shells in. And you can put your shells right in here, okay? So do you have any tips maybe about cracking eggs that you've learned along the way?
Hey YouTube, can you hear us?
When you crack eggs, when you're done cracking eggs, you should go and wash your hands. And a tip is to just do a little bit and then just get your 2 thumbs up there, open up, and actually kind of with these so they don't fall out.
Right.
The shells.
Use the eggs, the shells. Right, so that's right, guys. So whenever you're working with raw eggs, when you're done, you want to give your hands a rinse. So we're going to be using 6 whole eggs for this recipe. For people who are interested in using egg whites, you can swap out. You would go 2 egg whites for every egg, or you could go half and half, okay? Got that done. Okay, so...
YouTube, can you hear us? I'm not seeing anybody comments on YouTube.
No? Okay. Did you have to press any buttons?
I don't know. Just want to make sure they hear us.
All right, if you
Facebook
guys on
is good.
YouTube, if you can hear us, say hello. Facebook, who's tuning in? Let me know. Okay.
Shells, but very tiny.
That's fine. So once you've got, perfect, the 6 eggs in the bowl, Katie, you're gonna run off and go rinse your hands. You can go to the bathroom and do that and come right back, okay? And first, I'm gonna give those a nice little beating in the bowl. So you just wanna whisk it together, and basically we're just doing that so we can get the eggs and the egg whites all mixed together. And I don't think I mentioned it, but the oven should be at 350 degrees, okay? Because that's what these are gonna cook at. 350 degrees for about 35 minutes. Okay. So once I've got the eggs all beaten and ready to go, I gotta tell you guys, these like coconut flour recipes are some of the easiest recipes to do, because you really just dump and mix. They're very forgiving. Okay, next up, we've got, do you want to tell something? Go ahead.
Also, if you are
camera.
mixing it, also if you're mixing it and you have some of the little goopy yellowness or
The yolks.
stuff, the yolk right here, as you can see, you can just turn your bowl around. As you can see right now, it's facing you, so my hand doesn't go smashing it. And then you just
keep your hands clean.
Yeah.
Keep your hands clean. Okay, so to the eggs, I'm gonna add a 1/4 cup of applesauce. And I've also tried this recipe with yogurt, guys. Both work, okay? So if you do,
both are very yummy.
and both are very yummy. So if you like dairy, you could do yogurt. Otherwise, I'm doing applesauce. Then I've got a 1/2 cup of melted coconut oil, okay? Now, you could also do butter here. I would recommend doing pastured butter. That's exactly 1/2 cup, you got it? And what you're gonna notice about this recipe, which is different than most muffin recipes, is that this does not have any refined flours, and it's gonna be lower on the sugars, right? Normally muffins have a lot of refined carbs and a lot of sugar in them. This is more protein and healthy fat based, right? So it's good for blood sugar levels, and I find it to be very satisfying. I find that it keeps me...
Just like you, Grandma.
Does Grandma, right, Grandma's working on her blood sugar. I find it to be they're very satisfying. Okay, so.
Can you say hi to Laura, Always Blogs?
Hello,
on
Laura.
YouTube?
Hello, Laura, Always Blogs on YouTube. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, next up, we've got a teaspoon of vanilla. Okay, don't do it on the board, though. Yeah, okay. which honestly I'm out of, so I'm skipping the vanilla. So that just goes to show you that the recipe is very forgiving. And for our sweetener, can you tell them what this is?
We are using
Maple?
maple syrup.
So it's a 1/4 cup of maple syrup. If you didn't have maple syrup, you could also do honey, but we're just using a 1/4 cup. That's all it takes for all 12 muffins. So again, not a ton of sugar, not a lot of sweetener, and no refined sugars, which is beautiful. And then we've got our coconut flour. So if you're not familiar with coconut flour, if you've never worked with it, this is what it looks like. It's very fine. And you're gonna see it's very absorbent. So it's gonna thicken up. This little bit is gonna thicken up. My mic is going crazy. Okay, got it?
Put it back.
Okay. Stepping off to fix my mic.
I like to finish opening these.
Go ahead and stir. Keep it low and just get it all in the bowl. And while she's stirring, I'm going to add in a 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt and a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. Go ahead and sprinkle that in.
Could you do this with almond flour, Dee?
So, yes, but you would have to make some adjustments because almond flour isn't quite as absorbent as the coconut flour. So you might have to just adjust the amount of eggs to flour a little bit. So I couldn't tell you exactly what that would be, but I don't think it would be too different. If I were you, what I would do is maybe start with like 1 or 2 less eggs, start with a 1/2 cup of almond flour, and then just kind of notice the batter. And do you need a little more liquid? Do you need more flour? And then add in that way. But I think you could definitely get it done. Okay, so I'm gonna just give this a big base stir and then you'll take over again, okay? So we just wanna get it going to get the clumps out of there. And you'll see that the batter is kind of like this beautiful golden color. If you wanted to speed the job up, you could pull out a hand mixer, but I gotta tell you, I would much rather do less dishes and mix more by hand. Okay, so go ahead, you keep going. Now, I wanna give you another tip on this, guys. We're doing, oh my gosh, you know what we didn't do? One of the most important parts, the lemon zest. Let me get my lemon. So, Katie.
How many eggs are in there again, guys?
So there's 6 eggs in there. Keep stirring, girl.
Let's do a little recap for people.
All right, let's do the lemon zest really quick because this has to get in there. Could you, if you didn't like lemon, you could skip it, but I really feel like the lemon and the blueberries are what makes this a muffin. It's so springy, it's perfect for this time of year when the berries are fresh and coming out. So remember, guys, whenever you're doing a lemon zest, what you want to get off is this bright outer lemon skin, but you see where it turns white? We do not want that. That's called the pith, and that is bitter. We want the lemon zest, the skin, where all the oils are, that fresh, bright lemon flavor. And a little goes a long way. So I use like about a tablespoon for this recipe. And I always wash my lemon before I zest it, okay? A lot of times we don't think to wash our lemons because we're using the juice. But in this case, you want to wash it. And if you can, do organic, go organic. Because
yeah, you're dealing with the skin.
the skin is what tends to catch a lot of the...
Someone wants to know what makes this paleo.
Well, because it's free of grains. It's grain-free. And it's free of refined sugars. It just uses a little bit of maple syrup to sweeten it. Okay, so that lemon zest is going in. And wait, along with a big fat heaping 1/2 cup of fresh blueberries that we washed and dried. You want to try to get the blueberries dry because if you put them in there wet, oh good. Katie caught a stem that we missed. Nice. So guys, recipes like this are perfect if you want to get your kids cooking in the kitchen because they're very forgiving. They're very like dump and go. As you can see, Katie could do almost every single step that's involved. So it's a great recipe, especially with Mother's Day coming. If you want to cook with your kids or have them feel a little empowered in the kitchen, it's a great place to start, right, Kay?
Yes, definitely.
Absolutely. So this, I will tell you, very important. You have got to really grease the cookie sheet. The muffin pan, because these muffins will stick. So you have to give it a good grease. You could either take, did you need to say something?
Right here, we had a big problem.
Right, we had a bit of a problem with our other muffins because some of them did a pretty, they broke on the bottom because I did a quick, we're fine.
That one is okay.
But I greased them really fast, so you have to make sure that they're well oiled. So you could do this with a little bit of butter, you could do it with a little bit of coconut oil, or you could do some cooking spray, but you just have to make sure that you're doing a very thorough job, okay? So I'm gonna give these a quick spray. Yeah.
Daphne wants to know if she can order one of these muffins for her coffee tomorrow.
Absolutely, Daphne. How are we going to get that to you? I would love that. All right. Once we've got these all sprayed down, how I like to get the muffins in there is, this had applesauce on it. Let me give it a quick rinse.
What?
How's it feel?
Can you see, show them how it's thickened up. Do you see how the coconut oil is so absorbent and how the dough, the batter, has really thickened up? And it gets thicker kind of as it sits because the coconut oil absorbs.
And also while your kids are waiting, while you spray the pan, they can also take the fork or whatever you have and make fun shapes like I am.
You can make fun shapes. There you go. Always looking for a party around here.
Coach Kay from South Africa says hello.
Hello. Thank you for joining us.
Can you freeze these? Are these good?
Yeah, absolutely. These are great to freeze. And you know what they're great? I personally
They
love.
last that long.
I love this flavor. For breakfast, they're great. You want to try one? But I love them like crumbled on top of some plain Greek yogurt. So you do a scoop and then into the pan you go. And so what we do, you go ahead and keep working on that. What I do is you go through them all. You try to get an even amount in each cup. If you have any left over, you go back and you even it out. Then you're going to put these in the oven at 350 degrees for 35 minutes or until they're cooked through. Now, once they come out, you want to let them cool completely. And then if you've never worked with coconut flour before, I just want to show you. Okay, so here's a finished muffin, right? You can see what it looks like. Coconut flour is very light and fluffy. Like, can you see? It's almost, I almost want to say it's a little spongy. I know that probably doesn't sound like the most appetizing term, but it's really yummy. It's very light. It doesn't have the same weight as wheat flour. So if you don't like wheat flour, if it doesn't work for your body, which is not the case for me, I just like to experiment with different ingredients. This is a great flour to experiment with. Katie, you want to do a tester?
The cupcake,
No problem.
the cupcake cup holders, D. What did we decide on those?
Okay, so you can see I did some here. See, this one has a cupcake holder in it because I did a batch. We ate the rest of them
It's
though.
almost like they steam at the bottom or something.
My husband thought they were better without the cupcake holders because he felt like the ones in the cupcake holders tasted like they steamed on the bottom rather than getting like a nice golden edge. So you can definitely do it, but that was our conclusion. Okay, let me get a spoon.
Did you use baking soda?
Yep, we used just a quarter teaspoon. Quarter teaspoon of baking soda, quarter teaspoon of salt. Now, Katie did these, and you did lovely, but they're a little bit big, which is why we didn't get all 12 out of them, right? So normally what I would do is just go a little bit smaller, just to get 12 muffins, but either way works. You can make them bigger and just get less muffins, right? Just depends how you prefer it, guys. Or you could even get those little mini muffin cups and make them that way. Now, if you wanted to vary the flavors, you could also do this like orange zest and cranberries, or maybe do some pecans and chocolate chips. You'd like that one, right?
Only chocolate chips.
She's a chocolate girl. Chocolate runs in her blood. Okay, and that's it, guys. So I would take these, pop them in my oven, 350 degrees. Okay, I'll do that after, since we've got the finished product. Okay, we've got the finished product, and this is what we've got. You want to be a tester, Kay?
Yeah!
Tell them what you think.
Just that one.
Okay, but
Oh, that's the broken one.
yeah, but you can taste it broken. It still tastes the same. Hold on while we decide which one we want to taste.
Oh,
Ice cream
I'm trying not to run.
man. She's trying not to run out the
I don't
door
know if
because
you can hear it back
the
there.
ice cream man is
doing
outside.
well.
He knows. Look, he knows we live here. He's slowing down in front of our house.
Please taste
No. Taste the muffin. There's plenty of time for ice cream.
Bye.
No, taste it. Taste
No, you're not getting ice cream
No,
right
yeah.
now. All right, I'll talk about it. If you took a big bite, you got to
Take
take
a
the.
bite, chew it,
She's
chew
got
it.
to take the on-camera bite. You got to take the little bite.
Is it good? What do you think about it?
What do you think about it?
Not better than ice cream, but yummy.
Not better than ice cream, but yummy. They're very light. They have great spring flavor. That's what they make me think of, the spring and the summer. And it's because of the fresh berries and the lemon zest. So I highly recommend trying these. Great for Mother's Day, but great for meal prep too. If you just want something like during the week with a cup of coffee or for breakfast that's convenient and delicious, this is for you, my friends.
And how do you store it normally?
I would put them in an airtight container and I would store them in the fridge. They can also be frozen.
Can you microwave or toast them?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like a
They're a
mini
little
muffin?
delicate for a pop-up toaster, but if you have a toaster oven, they're much easier to toast up. So that would be my tip there.
Let me see if I can get any more questions here. I'd love to see a high protein, low fat version of these.
High protein, low fat. Okay.
Okay.
You could do, I'll tell you how you could do that right now. You could do that by probably replacing some of the coconut oil with a little bit more applesauce. No, you can't. She cannot get some ice cream right now.
Where do you find coconut? Wait, no, you want to finish your thought on that one?
That's what I would do. You could try cutting back on some of the oil and doing a little extra applesauce or some yogurt. That would be a good place to start if you wanted to cut back on the fat.
Are we gonna use this anymore?
No. Okay.
Real quick.
Yes.
Just give me one quick rundown of all the ingredients that are in there. So they know.
Okay, guys, so everything we used today, we had don't make that noise, babe. We had 6 eggs beaten, a 1/4 cup of applesauce, 1/2 cup of melted coconut oil, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1/4 cup of maple syrup, 1/2 cup of coconut flour, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 tablespoon of fresh lemon zest, and then a heaping cup of blueberries. And for those of you that are into calories, each muffin has about 140 calories. 3.5 grams of protein, 5 grams of sugar, 1 gram of fiber, 7 grams of carb, and 11 grams of fat.
Can you substitute egg whites?
Absolutely. You just do 2 egg whites for every egg.
Soggy says hi.
Hi, Soggy. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us on this lovely Saturday afternoon. I will see you guys back here soon and with some more clean and deliciousness.
And more ice cream.
Except we don't have any ice cream right now. Can you say goodbye? Cheers.
Bye. Cheers. Only if we had a glass of wine.